Well, hello everybody. This is Russell for Let's Get Racing. So we're joined by Mark, who's at the races. Mark, can you say where you are right now?
Yeah, I'm just at Carlisle races, just with my horse Orcan that runs in the last today. So hopefully he's going to run well.
Fingers crossed. He's also very interested to get on camera, from what we can tell. So just be careful. You've still got both your ears by the end of the interview. Yeah.
Yeah, no, just trying to get in my way a little bit. I was in the stable. I've had to come out because he was all over me in there.
Well, look, Mark. Obviously, we've got Rizzo running tomorrow.
Yeah.
Disappointed with the run, the previous run. We thought everything was in her favour. Can you just say about what you found in her after the race and her being a bit lame? What was going on?
Yeah, well, she was a bit sore after the race. The next day we trotted her up. I was a little bit concerned. She seemed a bit sore. We had the vet come in about 3 or 4 days later, and he gave her a good check over. To be fair, by then she seemed fine, and he was happy with her. I mean, there's little bits about they're not perfect, but with a lot of race horses that have had racing, they're not perfect. It's a bit like athletes. You know, they have their aches and pains. It's just that it's just managing them correctly. And but she's been fine since then. Like I say, I was a bit worried straight after the race, but 3 or 4 days later, she seemed to have loosened up well, and she's been on the gallops, cantering as normal, doing her work, and it seems fine now.
Okay, well, that's obviously really good to hear. And I know we've got a slightly different plan to previously. You're going to run her in a Visor tomorrow. Can you just say a little bit about the Visor and what it does and why you've chosen to use that?
Yeah, so there's various bits of headgear that you can use, and you'll see on the race courses. So sheepskin cheek pieces, which are a bit milder than a visor, you might say. They just sort of sit out there, whereas the visor more comes round the horse's eye, and it just focuses them. There's a little slit in the back, so they can see a little bit of what's going on. If a horse comes next to them, they can just see it, so it keeps them competitive. But it just keeps their mind focused, keeps them looking in front, and yeah, just hopefully focus their mind a little bit. That's the plan with those.
Okay, and I mean, we obviously haven't tried in one before, and you usually, from what I understand, usually try them for the first time at the race course. But with her, you tried this at home. What was the impact?
Yeah, definitely lit her up a little bit, and that's what we want to see. You know, she was a lot keener, sort of pulling at the riders, sort of wanting to go quicker, which is exactly what we wanted from them. So a lot of difference. It's just going to be the visor that turns around. I think the surface underfoot will be, as you know, if she runs a lot better, I think surface underfoot will be the biggest thing that will help her on the all-weather surface, and the visor will be a little aid, and you know, it'll hopefully bring a little bit of improvement out in her.
Okay, and can you just say a little bit about the surface at Newcastle? Obviously, her first run there. How's it different or similar to other surfaces?
Yeah, very similar. It's called a tapeta surface. So it's an all-weather sand and wax surface, and it is a nice, easy surface for horses to run on. They find it very comfortable. They tend to let themselves. Some horses that won't let themselves run and stretch on the turf will do so on the all-weather, because it is very kind. It is kind surface with a cushion.
Okay. And we've dropped a back-in trip to 7 furlongs for this run. I know that Newcastle takes a little bit more getting than some of the other all-weather tracks. Can you say a little bit about how you expect the race to pan out and how she'll be ridden?
Yeah, well, Newcastle, it's a very stiff 7, sort of climbing uphill all the way, and with horses tend to not do well from the front. There's always exceptions to that. There's never any rules with racing in general, but if you look at the statistics, they will tell you that horses ridden very prominently don't tend to win at Newcastle. So we'll with bearing that in mind, we'll just alter our tactics a little bit. And I'm not saying we'll drop her out right at the back of the field, but I'd be happy if she was sat maybe, fourth, fifth, just 2 or 3 horses in front of her with a bit of cover, and just ride her to finish the race properly, rather than just letting herself burn herself out in the first sort of 4 or 5 furlongs, like she possibly did at Ayr last time.
Sure. And I know we've got Jason on board again. What was Jason's feedback after the last run? Did he say anything about her and what we should be doing with her?
Yeah, well, I mean, Jason said for the first half of the race he was very happy, but then when she was off the bridle, he said she really struggled. When he was having to ask her to stretch, she wasn't really wanting to do it. And whether that was because of the surface, I know before the race I was happy with the ground, and I thought that would really suit her. I mean, when you look at her runs for us, the 2 best runs have come on the all-weather. Wolverhampton was okay, and Kempton was a really good run. So I am hoping that Jason found that she didn't stretch on the turf, on that very soft ground, hoping when she comes under pressure, she can just lengthen and finish the race a bit better.
Okay. And in terms of performance, obviously, we've had some not great runs. What's your expectation, or what do you think she needs to do tomorrow?
Well, quite honest, I'm far from confident. I'm not going to say she's going to be winning tomorrow. What we need to see from her is her running at the right end of the race. Whether if she finished 4th or 5th and just showed that she still has got the ability to finish the race off well, I'll be pleased, because it is quite a competitive race. But she's dropped down the handicap a fair amount. She's off a handicap mark of 62, and she should be competitive. So if I'm just hoping we see her finish the race. Say anything round about halfway of the runners would be a decent result, and just at least show she's still got the ability to finish the race off.
Okay, great. So, Mark, we're very much looking forward to the run. Thanks for all the care you're taking of her. And will there be any other runners that are up at Newcastle with you tomorrow, or is it just her?
We've got another filly running actually with a visor on as well. That filly is sort of slightly on her last chance. She ran very well for us first time out this year. She's only a 2-year-old. She was only beaten a length. But she knew her job very, very well that day, and I think that's why she ran so well. And she's disappointed us since. So she really needs to shape herself tomorrow. Otherwise, it'll be off to another home for her, which we find with horses like that. If they haven't made the grade, which might be the case with that one tomorrow, we'll find her a nice home, and she'll have a good retirement. But yeah, won't be expecting too much from that one. Okay.
Well, look, Mark, thank you so much for your time. We're hopeful of a good run, and good luck with Orcan this afternoon in the last at Carl.
Good luck to everyone. Let's hope we can get to running a bit better.
Perfect. Brilliant. Thanks, Mark. Cheers for your time.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.